the United States is held hostage. 52 Americans are trapped inside the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. Diplomacy has failed. President Jimmy Carter needs a miracle. He turns to Colonel Charlie Beckwith, the man who had spent years arguing that America needed a dedicated counterterrorism unit modeled after the British SAS. The mission is Operation Eagle Claw. The plan is audacious, a complex rendezvous in the middle of the Iranian desert, codenamed Desert One. Delta is to refuel, fly into Tehran, storm the embassy, and vanish. But the enemy wasn't the Iranian military, it was the desert itself. A haboob, a massive suspended wall of dust, chokes the engines of the RH-53 Sea Stallion helicopters. Two turn back, one lands with hydraulic failure. Beckwith is forced to make the call no commander wants to make: abort. In the blindness of the dust, a helicopter repositions and slices into a C-130 transport plane full of fuel and troops. The explosion illuminates the desert night. 8 Americans die. The world saw the wreckage of American power burning in the sand. It was a national humiliation. But from the ashes of Desert One, the modern U.S. Special Operations machine was born. Delta vowed that mechanical failure and poor coordination would never defeat them again. 9 years later, 1989, the location, Panama. The dictator, Manuel Noriega, has declared a state of war with the United States. In the Modelo prison, an American CIA operative named Kurt Muse is waiting to die. Noriega has issued a standing order: if the U.S. invades, kill the hostage. This time, Delta doesn't sneak across a desert. They come in loud. Operation Acid Gambit. Using MH-6 Littlebirds, helicopters small enough to land on a backyard patio, Delta operators fly directly into the city. They don't hit the front gate, they land on the roof. In a matter of seconds, they blow the roof door, breach the catwalks, and neutralize the guards. They find Muse. He is alive. But getting out is harder than getting in. As the extraction bird lifts off, a sniper bullet hits the engine. The helicopter crashes onto the street below. The operators, bruised and battered, crawl from the wreckage. They are surrounded by the Panamanian Defense Force. For minutes that feel like hours, they hold the line, a laser-focused perimeter in a chaotic city. Finally, an armored column breaks through to save them. Acid Gambit was messy, but it was a success. It proved that Delta could execute a precision raid in a non-permissive urban environment. They would need that skill again. 4 years later, Mogadishu, a Black Sea district, October 1993. What begins as a routine snatch-and-grab mission to capture lieutenants of the warlord Mohammed Farah Aidid turns into the most infamous firefight in modern special operations history. The assault goes well, the targets are secured, but then a distinct sound echoes over the city, the whoosh of an RPG. A Black Hawk helicopter, Super 6-1, is hit. It spins out of control and crashes into the maze of hostile streets. Then it happens again. Super 6-4 is down. The mission changes instantly. The operators are no longer hunters, they are the prey. At the crash site of Super 6-4, 2 Delta snipers, Gary Gordon and Randy Shugart, monitor the situation from the air. They see the pilot, Mike Durant, is still alive. They see the angry mob closing in. They request permission to insert. They are denied. They request again, denied. They request a third time, permission granted. 2 men drop into a city of thousands. They fight with a ferocity that defies belief, holding back the militia to buy time for the pilot. Both men are killed in action, but Mike Durant survives. The Battle of Mogadishu left 19 Americans dead and over 70 wounded. It forced the world to recognize the cost of these operations. It stripped away the invincibility of the machine, revealing the human courage underneath. 2003, Iraq. The regime has fallen, but the dictator has vanished. Saddam Hussein is a ghost. The U.S. military launches a manhunt of unprecedented scale. Leading the charge is Task Force 121, a fusion of Delta Force and other elite units. For months, the trails go cold, but intelligence is a puzzle, and the Delta are the master solvers. December 13th, Operation Red Dawn. The operators surround a small mud-walled farmhouse near Tikrit. There is no palace, no golden throne, just a rug on a dirt floor outside a hut. They kick away the rug. They lift a styrofoam plug. Inside a 6-foot spider hole, breathing through a plastic fan, sits the ace of spades. He is armed with a pistol, but he does not fight. A Delta operator looks down at the man who terrorized a region for decades and says, "President Bush sends your regards." It was the ultimate vindication of the intelligence-driven warfare Delta had perfected. Decades pass. The enemy evolves. The flag of Saddam is replaced by the black flag of ISIS. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi builds a caliphate on blood. Among his victims is American aid worker Kayla Mueller. In 2019, Delta Force is given the mission to dismantle the head of the snake. The operation is named in Kayla's honor. It is a modern raid. 8 helicopters fly hundreds of miles into Idlib, Syria. They do not knock, they level the walls with explosives. Abu Baghdadi, cornered and desperate, flees into a dead-end tunnel, dragging 2 children with him as human shields. He is pursued not just by operators, but by Conan, a Belgian Malinois combat dog. Trapped, the leader of ISIS detonates a suicide vest. The operators collect the DNA. They confirm the kill, and before they leave, they call in airstrikes to turn the compound into a crater. No shrine for a terrorist, just dust.